Sometimes I sit back and just shake my head because the way Nigerians handle serious issues is almost like we don't even know when to unite and fight for one cause. This whole situation surrounding the death of Phyna's younger sister, Ruth, is very sad one. Honestly, it should have been a moment where everybody, fans, celebrities, influencers, activists, will come together and speak with one voice, demanding justice. But no, what do we see? Finger pointing, blame games, old beef being reawakened, and personal beef, overshadowing the real issue, which is justice for Ruth. Now, let me break this down small by small because the way people are just throwing blames, if you don't sit down to analyze, you will just get confused. First of all, they say people started blaming Phyna herself. Imagine, instead of rallying around her in her time of grief, people are accusing her of betrayal, saying she didn't play her card right in the fight for justice. Some are claiming she switched sides. Some are saying she didn't handle relationship well. Some even dragging her name into old grudges that have nothing to do with Ruth. It's like, can't people separate issues for once? Then Phyna herself now turned and blamed VDM. According to her, VDM manipulated her. One thing that really caused Phyna anger was that VDM mentioned that Ruth had children. Phyna got angry. She felt betrayed. She felt exposed. But let's be sincere. Why hide such important details in a matter like this? If you are fighting for justice, if you are demanding accountability, children who are left behind are not supposed to be a secret. In fact, that's a part of strong point of negotiation. Think about it. If you are sitting at a round table talking about compensation, welfare, and responsibilities, the first question people will ask is, who did she leave behind? Who is going to take care of them? So if VDM mentioned that Ruth had children while narrating what transpired, that's not out of place at all. That's part of building the full picture. So this idea that VDM manipulated Phyna, honestly, I don't see it in this case. Maybe he talks too much. Maybe his style is too loud. But manipulation, no. If anything, he was trying to strengthen the case. And instead of seeing it that way, Phyna allowed anger and emotion to cloud her judgment. That's why I keep saying emotions are valid. But if you let emotion lead you in a serious fight like this, you can miss the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, it's not about who said what and who offended who. It's about Ruth and the children she left behind. On the other hand, Lizzy came in and blamed VDM too, but her angle was different. She says VDM was creating content with the matter. And let's be honest, how many activists or online warriors do we know that don't somehow use people's pen for content? They will come online, shout, cry, drag people, and at the end of the day, they are getting views, they are getting clicks, they are building their brands. So maybe Lizzy wasn't wrong about that, but still, was that the main issue? No, the issue should have been about Ruth, not about VDM content strategy.
And for you, very dark man, you're not supposed to do that video. This is why I call you content creator. You are not supposed to do that video in any circumstance. You took the sympathy away from her. You took the, oh my gosh, her sister, you took it away. What she was hiding about her sister having 2 children and everything, you don't tell public now, waiting that they fear before. You've come to tell us, and that took the sympathy away, even if I the verse for you. And as I stand right now, I the verse for Phyna.
The truth is that sometimes VDM style is loud, sometimes he's dramatic, but one thing you cannot take away from him is that he knows how to put pressure. Whether it was for content or not, he was making the right move to get Dangote group to take responsibility. He was shaking the right tables, forcing the right conversation. But what happened? Phyna allowed her anger to overshadow the bigger picture. Instead of focusing on the progress that has already been made, she got upset about VDM mentioning the children. She started listening to too many advisors, and then she abandoned the moves with VDM. Instead, she switched to Easy, who is more of a content creator than a justice fighter. And that's where everything started to scatter. Easy knows how to drag people online. She knows how to create buzz. But was that the same as applying pressure on Dangote group? Not really. Easy is about content creator, not about structure follow-up. So that switch didn't help the case. Meanwhile, other voices jump in. Blessing CEO, said that Phyna was ungrateful and she was not polite in calling out Dangote, and she was wrong in connecting to Easy. To be fair, even though Blessing CEO came out strong on Phyna, some of what she said actually made sense. Blessing CEO blamed Phyna for abandoning VEM move and then jumping to use Easy platform. And honestly, she was right on that one. If Phyna felt that she could no longer work with VDM, fine. There are so many credible activists and human rights lawyers out there who could have taken the matter up. People who know how to push without making it just about content. But instead, she went to Easy, a known content creator, and that decision weakened the fight for justice. Another thing Blessing Blessing CEO said was that Phyna should, learn to be polite and embrace dialogue, not just about online ranting. And if we are being real, the truth too, ranting on live, shouting in anger, calling people out, it creates noise, not a result. Dialogue, structure, and calm negotiation would have done so far more. Blessing CE also mentioned something very important. This is the time to open a GoFundMe for Ruth children. Right now, sympathy is high, emotions are fresh, and people are willing to give. Those children need security, they need school fees, they need care. Instead of all these online battles, if Phyna and her team had set up a proper GoFundMe, the energy of Nigerians could have been, channeled into something that directly benefits Ruth's children.
Very dark man. Use Harrison. Use Daddy Freeze. Use Brekete Family. There are so many other platforms of activism that you can use. So that at the end of the day, you do not disrespect people who wanted to help you, who wanted to be a voice to you, no matter how. Phyna, in a bid to spite Very Dark Man, you went to Izzy Ogbede, said a lot, gave her phone numbers to start calling. Izzy Ogbede used you as a bait to be fighting VDM. They collected the case from you, started jumping up and down, turned your sister's case into content creation.
More other voices jump in and now use his issue to recycle their old beef. And then also is Bobrisky. He also came out to blame Phyna for even going to VDM in the first place. But let's be honest here, is that really about what is right, or is it just personal beef? We all remember Bobrisky and VDM have had their own long-standing wahala. So when Bobrisky came out to say, Phyna, you are wrong to connect with VDM, we have to take that with a pinch of salt, because that statement is rooted more in personal history with VDM than in the real matter at hand.
The only mistake that girl made was to go to Very Dark Man. You should have just used your page and voice out. Let Nigeria hear you. Your page is enough. Your page is enough. Going to Very Dark Man, he has spoiled the case now. He has spoiled the case. He has spoiled the case. Now, the case no get. The same thing he did during Mobad. The same thing he did during Mobad. We don't see front, we don't see back. The moment he puts his mouth in Mobad case.
Now, let's talk about Bobrisky's argument. She said Phyna's platform is enough to fight for justice for Ruth. That Phyna should not have gone to VDM at all. But let's be realistic. Phyna's platform cannot carry that fight alone. Yes, she has a strong fan base. Yes, she has a big name as a Big Brother Niger winner. But when you are talking about justice on this level, you need more than fame. You need activists who know how to mobilize. You need legal backing. You need bigger platform that can put pressure on the right institutions. Phyna shouting on Instagram Live may trend, but will not move Dangote Group, will not force government agencies to act. Not really. That's why you need people like VDM or other activists who specialize in pushing these kind of cases. They know how to apply pressure in ways that celebrities alone cannot. So Bobrisky saying Phyna platform is enough sounds nice, but it's not practical. This is not just about trending hashtag. It's about strategy, and strategy requires alliance, even if those alliances come with personalities you may not fully like. RadioGuard, who is always speaking side based on who he supports at that moment, so didn't keep quiet. He blamed Phyna for connecting with Lizzy.
That girl was recuperating. She was doing well before Izzy Lebebe got involved. The minute Phyna involved Izzy Lebebe, everything scatter. For this life, mind the kind of people you go to in your vulnerable times. Phyna, no matter what, you should have maintained your relationship with Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man was already involved and everything was going well. That Izzy Lebebe where you go meet for live video, when I come to talk about your sister and Very Dark Man, was a wrong move. Izzy Lebebe.
Everybody is dragging Phyna based on who she is associating with. VDM, Lizzy, whoever. Nobody is saying, okay, what's exactly happened to Ruth? Who is responsible? How do we ensure justice is served? It is so sad, because what I see here is not just the eye of one young girl, but also the eye of solidarity. Nigerians like to shout justice, justice, but when the time comes, it becomes about personalities, cliques, camps, and who is fighting with who. And honestly, when you analyze it properly, you will see that all these blames are not really about Ruth. They are rooted in personal beef. So at the end of the day, Ruth's name just become the platform for them to continue their quarrel. And the sad reality is, the more they do this, the more justice drifts further and further away. Now, let's just pause and ask, where do we draw the line between fighting for justice and pushing personal agendas? Because if everybody is fighting for justice in their own selfish way, then there is no unity. And without unity, there is no result. Let's even take it deeper. In Nigeria, anytime something tragic happen, whether it's Mohbad Pai or Ruth now or any injustice, you will see the same circle. At first, everybody will cry justice. Influencers will jump on it. Celebrities will shout. But give it 1 week, 2 weeks, and it become drama. People will start pointing fingers, fighting themselves, and before you know it, the real matter is forgotten. That's exactly what is happening here. Instead of demanding answers from the authorities, people concerned, people are busy demanding answer from Phyna. Instead of calling out for accountability, they are calling out each other. And that's why we rarely see justice served in this country. And let me say something about Phyna too, because some people may say, oh, you are just defending her. No, Phyna also has her flaw. Maybe she didn't handle the alliance well. Maybe she trusted the wrong people. Maybe she, allowed herself to be dragged into unnecessary fight. But does that mean she deserves to carry all the blame? Absolutely not. She's grieving. She lost a sister. She's in pain. Even if she made mistake in how she handled it, people should cut her some slack. So what's the takeaway here? For me, it is simple. Nigerians need to learn how to separate personal beef from collective struggle. You may not like Phyna, you may not like VDM, you may not like Lizzy, but when it comes to matters of justice, set aside the beef and unite. Because if you don't, the people in power will keep winning. They will just sit back, watch you fight each other and do nothing. Let's not forget, Ruth is gone. A young life has been cut short. Phyna is mourning and the family is grieving. Instead of dragging and blaming, the energy should be channeled into seeking truth and demanding justice. Otherwise, Ruth will just be another story that trended for a few weeks and then vanished, leaving the family to carry the pains alone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and as we come to the end of this video, kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share and leave your comment in the comment section. I will see you in my next video, but before then, don't forget to stay safe, remain kind and mind your mental health. Bye and remain blessed.